Wave runner, always running the wave.
Yo, it's HP in the mirror. I'm with my boy
Jonah.
You know, we about to do a little interview for y'all. You know, my boy masked up, looking like yeet up in his bitch. Shit, I'm gonna just let him introduce himself a little bit. Then we're gonna start asking questions.
Yeah, so. I'm Jonah. I make music. I design clothes. I basically do everything. I'm just me, just doing art and shit.
Yeah. I see. My boy came in with some heat on his feet. He said he designed and shit. You gotta show the camera a little bit.
I got. Might as well show y'all. So these is called. So I'm gonna give y'all a little history lesson real quick. These is called jikatabis. They're like an old 1900s Japanese worker shoe.
Okay.
Like ain't nobody like been wearing these since like the 2000s when they was like in. Like just like this very like runner phase in the 2000s, but no one really touching them other than Mason Margiela. I like that you got the glasses on now. You got the glasses up. You already know. But like I was just like I think I was up one night just working on some like music and stuff, and I've been like really into just like a lot of shoes that go against the grain. Like I have my pairs of Jordans and I have my pairs of like Adidas and like I have a bunch of Yeezys and shit, but like no one's really like in my eyes whenever I'm working on some shit, no one's really doing exactly this, and in my eyes I just wanted to make something that's like against the grain or something that culture doesn't really see as like cool anymore. Like I stopped using the word cool. Yeah. Like I just started using it again, but I literally like posted on my story like 2 years ago, being like, man, fuck the word cool. It's a dumbass thing.
Substitute like, that for something else.
I started substituting out for like the word wavy because I feel like wavy just like it's like the word wavelength that kind of like just changes up everything for everybody.
No,
and that's
facts.
Like,
I fuck with them. I ain't gonna lie, they different. Like you know, like. You definitely gonna get some looks wearing. Before you do kung fu with it.
Oh yeah, no. Like I look at it in the sense of like how like Virgil treats setting up stuff before he passed. Virgil would always.
I was definitely tuned in with Virgil. Like
taking
something that's already existing. And just like building off that, like flipping that shit.
He always put up this idea of making sure that it's not the product that should be the most important. It should be what's around the product. Yeah. So that's why you see me in all leather and everything.
All black.
And instead of so that the most like focused part of your mind goes straight down to these white shoes that have a split toe on them, and no one else can notice that it just blends well enough with the outfit that it shouldn't feel like it works, but it works.
Yeah, no, because that's definitely where your eye goes. You know, like you got all black on, then it's like white, like
you
know.
Yeah, exactly.
So you said like you mess with fashion and you do music and you do a little bit of producing. You said too. So like what like all right, let's before we get all into that, let's like what got you into let's start off with music.
Music.
What got you into music like?
A lot of it just came from like growing up. Like my family and everything is super musically in tune. My older sister is just has been dancing. She was like 3, doing like ballet and stuff. So growing up, I got to see like all sorts of different art forms and stuff like that. Like my dad is like heavily into music. So when it came to working on stuff like that, like me and my brother who also makes music as well, he is doing his own thing right now, which is crazy. But
What type of music were like? I know you said your sister sing. Like, what type of music was your dad making? Like,
my sister dancing, but my dad was doing a lot more like he was getting a lot more into like folk music and stuff like that, which is very like an interesting kind of like curve. But in my mind, a little bit from me, what he was showing me was the different ways that it doesn't have to just be one kind of genre, because he would incorporate a bunch of different like forms of music. He'd also incorporate different instruments. He was building his own instruments for a little bit, especially with guitars. Like he was building his own guitars and shit. And it was cool for a little bit, because in my mind I'm just like, oh shoot, my dad's like building like these instruments and everything. And I would like tell everyone at school and be like, "Man, bro, like, what's your dad do? Oh, construction? my dad makes guitars, man. Like, And they're like, what's they made out of?" And I'm like, cigar boxes. And they're like,
cigar boxes?
Yeah, bro. Crazy. It's interesting. If you ever went like But if I ever show you, if you ever come by my house or something like that, I can show you the amount that you've been working on, and it's crazy. Like I'm so like, I love my dad. He doing his own thing with that, and just growing up all around that. And then I think like around like 2017, 2018, like I just started getting into a little bit more of like a hip hop kind of like fused with stuff. Mm-hmm. Definitely a lot of like Kanye influence came in for a little bit, but like it was just the form and how music was kind of just like coming through, and especially because I was just like, I just turned 13, I wanted to know what was cool and stuff. Yeah, I got into like, I basically became like almost a culture vulture at that point with the music, which is not the best idea, but it's what I was doing. And everybody at my school, because I went to a Catholic school, mm-hmm. They were like, man, what the fuck is this shit, dude? This white kid with his hair stick to the side, what's he doing?
I know, going to a Catholic school, and music, that shit just like, they looking at you crazy as shit.
Oh, yeah. And that's just how I took things from there, like, all the way from, like, high school and beyond.
Like, so you always been, like, ever since, like, you start getting your own, like, what I want to say, your own interest in music, you always just been, like, an outcast type of, you know, type of vibe.
It always felt like it was just everything everyone else was doing, and then what I wanted to do. Okay. And I felt like I was a little bit ahead of the curve on a couple things. I always felt like I had like this confidence that I could just go out, do something that no one else was doing, and then doing it. However, I will say though that like a few of my friends, they were the ones that started like that put me on to actually like making music. I had my family background, but like a few of my friends were like, oh, you should do this, and they was like throwing me out there. Like my friend Dylan, he was doing all that stuff. Okay. But like now for me, a lot of the influence that comes from that is just art, just the things that I see and I think, oh, this is cool. I want to find something where like if I put it in my headphones and I hear it, like I can actually like feel the art that's coming out of that, and it's gotten this like almost like supernatural energy that comes out of it, and it just makes some just crazy ass shit like that.
Yeah, because a lot of artists don't connect to like just art that like in tune. You feel me? Like I know like certain beats or like that speak to you before you even hear lyrics on there, so you you already know how you about to do it, and like
and that's what like the sampling did for me for a little bit, because I literally like originally it was just like making like just like some random trap beat or anything like that, just getting a drum pad ready, get a couple synths on there, throw a couple lines on there, and everything's all good. But in my mind,
it's real simple for
like in my mind, I was like, I can do more with this, and no one else was doing that at that point. Like around me, I know my influence for everything is just kind of like spanned way beyond that, and slowly by like 2021, I actually started like expanding my influence not just from musicians but to like art and just designers, especially George Condo paintings, like all his stuff, like just capturing that more of like this like childlike kind of like energy, but it was so controversial because it would be something that's super exposed that no one else can really like understand it, and that's the point. Like it felt as if when I was working on like my last album, I was literally just talking about it to a couple people. Like I wanted it to be very like real, but also didn't want it to sound like it wasn't fun. Like I was working with my mom because she works at a school, and I was working with I was working there with her, and there was like a couple kids there who like heard that I was making music, and these like first graders, and I was just like, hey, how would you feel like if I just like I played them the instrumental and everything? I was like, how do you feel about like if I did this? And they're like, this is a cool thing. I like this. So I like changed this up. There's like a couple songs, I think like if I remember correctly, I believe it was the instrumental to Pilots had a beat. It didn't have the original beat change. Yeah. But then now it had that beat change because I switched it, and they're like, I like how the drums sound because it just goes boom, 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 and I'm like, all right. So I flipped that and I did that in there, and it like became the biggest song off that album, and I was literally like, I feel like if I ever see IK again, I'll be like, oh, thank you, man. Like, you came through and you did that for me. Like,
and it's crazy because he don't got like a clue. Like, you know, it's just like that child innocence.
But it's that, it's
playful.
It's that creative like intelligence with you. Like, literally, like we was learning in my fashion class, we were just learning like just like if you have to ask others for help. Like you can't just do it on your own anymore.
No, we get influences from everywhere, like anything, like like from even how we dress, like like everything. You know?
Like you post on your story like your outfit, and like it's like a fit check. But when you think about it, in the word fit check, you have the word check in it. Yeah. Like that means that like someone could easily go up there and be like, all right, I'm gonna check your fit. I think you should do something like this, or I don't like this. I fuck with this. Or I think it's cool. Like, I said cool again. I gotta say wait again.
Yeah. All right. So you said so you spoke about like you producing beats and stuff, like with the the little kid helping you and shit. So like, what? All right. You said you go to school for.
I go to school for fashion up at Mercyhurst.
Mercyhurst. Okay.
Yeah.
How would you? What made you get into fashion? Like
It was. I think it was like just that like initial like. I had like this one outfit in like high school, it was like my freshman year, and like some guy just like walked up to me and was like, "Oh, yo, I like these, I like that fit. I just feel like," 'cause I was wearing Stan Smiths at the time, and it was like, I just don't think these Stan Smiths are really like going with it. And he was this dude that was like real dripped out, like at collegiate, and I was like, oh shoot, man, like I didn't even know it was like that. And then I started like looking up this stuff, and then slowly I was just like, I kind of like how this looks better than this looks, and it kind of gained like this kind of energy where I was feeling better about like this looking better than this, and slowly it became like, because I used to be like very like free with like what I wanted to wear. I was just like, I'll just throw this hoodie and shirt on, no one's gonna care, because at the end of the day, none of this really full on like matters. At the end of the day, all of it is just what makes you feel. It should just be what you feel instead of...
You make the clothes at the end of the day. Clothes don't make you...
Exactly. Like everyone's got to come up... Like there's always going to be that obstacle of... Is some like, oh, like, are you going to wear this because everyone's wearing it? Or is it because you like it?
Trendy or... I feel I done did modeling for companies and shit like that, and I always just felt like whenever I'm throwing an outfit together, or like even now, like I'll just get dressed like... I personally like to wear shit that I like to wear. You feel me? Like I don't like wearing trendy shit, because you wearing trendy stuff, like you're not gonna stick out. You feel me? Like
and it's also just like the energy of how people perceive what you're wearing. Like if you walk in with like a pair of like Jordans on, for example, like nowadays most people are gonna look at that and be like, oh, you got Jordans, because everyone got Jordans. Yeah, but if you go back you go back 3-4 years, and like you got a pair of Jordans on, and people are gonna look at you and be like, oh shoot, bro's got like a nice pair of like J's on and shit. But now I think we've become so oversaturated with just the one design or the one sneaker or this whole kind of like line of like sneakers or even clothing, that like it just makes me feel like kind of weird about it. Like I purchased an Essentials hoodie, and I wore it for like a couple days, but then in my mind I was just like, I'm just doing this just because I think like people would think that it's cool.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool. Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
But you didn't get it because you liked it. You just got it because
because it was just
trendy, right?
Because it's trendy. Because it's like it was just something that I feel like is something that like people will like for the next like 3 months, but then at some point it's gonna fall out it's gonna fall to the wayside. No one's gonna wear it.
Yeah, it's like it's like denim tears right now.
Yeah,
like denim tears, like people wearing denim tears don't even know like the background. Do you know the background?
I rarely did. I think I did get a pair of denim tears just so I could like see it, because on the one hand I actually did like the material on the
their quality's
that stitching and fabric on there, just like I wore it and I was like, this is comfortable. Like, but like in my mind, I was just like, is this also being trendy, or is it just because I wanted to get like just because I saw the denim tears in like 2016? I was like, oh, this is it. Like
denim tear is definitely hard. People are wearing it and don't even know. Like, so denim tears, it's like it's based on like like those flower looking things. That's cotton. Yeah. So it's based off like some slavery shit. Yeah. Like that's what it's based off. And once people found that out, they're like, oh shit, I don't know. But it's the creator of it is a black dude. And he said it's like it's something about he wanted to show like our roots or some
exactly,
shit. You feel me? Like, you know, like it was a whole story behind it, you know, and people didn't even know that, and they just wearing it because it's trendy. So like, I just brought that up to say like, don't wear some shit because it's trendy. Like, I feel like you should know what you wearing. You know, if you. You know, I don't know.
No, you get what I'm saying. It's the plan. Like it's just how people feel about outfits in general, and just how the culture is right now. Yeah. Like I was talking about this to my fashion professor like literally like just a couple days ago. I was just like I used to be so into culture that I would be able to follow the trends. Where if you asked me like, oh, where are the trends today? I could tell you like like 20 of them without even thinking. Nowadays, I think I've just become so like almost against culture at this point. Where it's like I don't want to. I feel
like not to cut you off, but I feel like the people who like that are like that, that fall out the culture, like a Kanye or like fucking
even like a Virgil.
Like you're not doing shit because like you're trying to find the next trend. You're doing shit because you want to do it. Because you like doing shit.
And then in turn with that becomes the culture.
No,
like at some point, like when you go against the grain, you can find something that becomes a little bit of a curve that it's not like you're trying to help one thing. You created this whole thing.
Yeah, create your own lane.
That's where we're at right now with this world. Like I think the culture right now is creating your own thing. Like just creating what you like is trying to create your own thing and trying to be a business around that.
No, for sure.
I'm not like I think for me, I'm just trying to subvert every expectation and make something that fucks with people at that point. Like I want some like again like even with the Tabi shoes I'm wearing today, like even if it's just something like just small, even if it's just a little like just even just a little shoe, or if it's something as big as like I'll be designing like these dome like houses that were basically meant just straight for music. Like I get inspired from like just like especially from Star Wars and how like they be doing like those dome houses and everything because it's interesting. Yeah. And also it's building within within the ground. Like I feel like we've gotten to the point where like you can like wherever you go, there's always going to be like some level of like houses and stuff. That's why like my plan in life is to buy land. I think the most important thing right now is just buy land, pick up something that you actually own that is actually yours. Take the idea that all these other people that everyone's seeing who's doing their own thing and actually creating something, and buy that land and build something that makes you you. Like for me, like I love that feeling of stepping on something that's yours. Yeah. So why not try to like create something with that? Like I want to build like these houses and stuff and show everybody like you can do something that's just as cool with that. No, like this isn't just like it's not like this is just like some sort of like world where we're all like on this one kind of wavelength of I like how this house looks and this house has this sort of
everybody's house don't got to be the same. Everybody path ain't the same. You feel me?
I get it. You got to be in with the details, but I feel like if you strip something down to just like the smallest bit of like what it's naturally for, you can find the beauty in that way more than if you try to maximize everything. No. Like that's why I rarely walk out with like brands on. That's why I think like I really. Like, in my mind, I'm very just, like, instead of trying to be someone who's, like, against something or trying to, like, think that, oh, this new thing that's coming out, I don't like it. Mm-hmm. But, like, for me, like, it was, like, I think that we shouldn't be trying to, like, see something that's brand new and immediately find the problems with it. We should be helping each other with it. I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and we was talking about AI. And he was just
AI, I fuck with AI. I really do.
I think you can do positive things with it.
Yeah, I actually use AI a lot.
Yeah,
like, I ain't gonna lie. Like it's like it because I didn't hear the arguments like AI is gonna take our jobs. And, like AI should be used as a tool.
That's the point of it. Like so AI is a tool. Yeah, it's not supposed to take over. So like when I was talking to him, I mentioned to him, I was like, listen, like, you can do, you could ask an entire, like, AI to, like, write you a whole essay, but do you really gotta write that whole essay? No. What you gotta do is just ask him, like, to give you the topics, and then you fill in the blanks. I don't think it should be, like, I told him, I was like, don't, like, make AI tell you, like, give you the answers, help it guide you because it is that tool. Yeah. So, like, in my mind, like, when it comes to music, like, I don't think that they should be doing something where it's, like, making, like, its own music out of that. Even though it's fun and it can be funny on one hand.
Yes.
You also want to make sure that you can, maintain your creative freedom, but also, like, work with it. Like, especially when it comes to, like, just, like, if you want to sample anything from that, like, even, like, the artist, like, JP Mafia was doing stuff like that. And he would be, like, sampling stuff. My brother told me about him. If you ever do listen to JP Mafia, he's crazy as fuck. I'm going to go see him live. Dude's crazy. But, like, literally, like, if you wanted to do something that's super, like, out there with the, with your creativity, don't try to, like, have something be a crutch. Work with it and try to, like, make something that is still your own, but can be influenced by several things. I know we mentioned Virgil, but there was, like, that story of, I forgot the dude's name, but he was he entered this art contest, and literally what he did is he just he got, like, a urinal, and he wrote his name on it and sent it out as art, and everyone else is kind of just like, man, like, what the fuck is this? Like, that's not art, but...
Yeah, it's just like that dude with the banana and the duct tape, you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, like, think about it this way, like, isn't that the same, like, isn't that almost, you can make the same argument as, well, did the person who painted the Mona Lisa, did the guy who painted the Mona Lisa, like, is that paper his? Did he the one that made that paper, or was it printed out by somebody else? Whose idea is it at the end of the day?
Yeah.
I know that's kind of crazy for me to say something like that. Like, I know they're probably going to be like, bro, what the fuck is he talking about?
No, I mean, shit, you know? Hey.
But, like, you have to understand, like, it's just, like, what, like, where do we draw that line? It's that gray area, i.e. the off-white of what, like, Virgil Abloh was working on. So, like, in my mind, like, I just feel like that's how it was then, and now what it is now is trying to redefine what that gray area is. Like, that's just how I feel about that stuff.
I fuck with it. I ain't gonna lie. It's just that shit get real deep, like fashion, all that shit.
Yeah,
like you really think about it,
and you can find your emotion within that. Like, for me, I love, like, a lot of my art and a lot of my, like, works just come from a very, like, kind of, like, emotional kind of sense now, because I don't think within numbers. I think with more, like, kind of, like, I think more of, like, how I'm feeling in that moment. Yeah. Like,
I feel like that's the best. That's when you're at your peak when it comes to just art. Period. Yeah. Like when you base it off your emotion. How you feeling.
Like, instead of just, like, looking at it as this is, like, a money sign, you should look at it as, does this make me feel happy? Yeah. Like, I get how that's a very, like, kind of, like, standard statement that a lot of people make. Yeah. But I feel like there's a little bit of truth within that for some people, where if you want to make, like, especially if you're making anything in general, it should be through an emotional, like, vessel. Like, if you're sad about something, like, make something that, like, expresses that.
Yeah, reflects that.
It's the best way of treating any sort of, it's like, in my opinion, it's the best way of treating something like that. I know I'm stuttering a lot, but it's like, it's just like this. You got to find what makes you, like, what makes that feeling almost expressed into this very, very, like, this piece of art that people are making. Like, like, when I was working on, like, my last album, and when I'm working on this album, a lot of it has just been coming from a place of very, like, joyful feelings, and, like, because, like, I've been making a lot of sad albums recently. I'm making a lot of sad records, and I don't want to do that as much anymore. I kind of just want to, like, make something that makes people kind of, like, smiling out their head instead of being like, oh, like, there's still some, like, emotional transports in there. Like, I always feel like
it's just a trend. You know, that's just how you was feeling at the time. But now you transitioning out of that, out of those feelings. Now you want to make, like, you know, some more uppity.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because, like, in my mind, and this is just me as, like, as personalized as I can get, I feel like I always have, like, these really good ideas that I can give to people. Mm-hmm. But I feel like not many people are listening to me at that point. And I get it if you want to do your own thing, but you have to understand is, like, there's always that good feedback. Like we was mentioning about me asking that one kid with the one song I was working on, like, you always should make sure that you have that feedback and listen to people, because there are some people that are out there that, like, have better ideas than me, that have better ideas than anyone else. Like, we're all in this together. We're all the human race. So we all need to work together and hold hands in that way. But, like, sometimes, like, I just feel like some people will do something and they'll be like, I think this is cool. And I'm like, if you did this, this would fix up like this thing, and like it would definitely help it. You don't have to, but if you do, and it's not even like, to me, it never felt like it was kind of like, oh no, I get it, but I think it would be this way. It's like, oh, I get it, and then they don't do it because they just weren't listening. I was just like, man, I can make this shit go from another level. I feel
like.
I always feel like every time I walk into something, I'm always like, what can I do to make this better?
Shit just go even 10 times harder.
Yeah.
I like you said you fuck with fashion though. I know somebody you should connect with in Erie. His name is what the fuck is bro name?
Good, man.
Produce and Protect.
Produce and Protect. No, I don't know who that is.
Grayson. It's my boy Grayson. That's Grayson. Yeah. He got a store on 26. 26. I'm gonna connect y'all because you fuck with fashion and shit. He fuck with fashion. I'm gonna have him come up here and do an interview. But I feel like y'all could come up with some crazy shit. You feel me? So, on a fashion tip again. What's your favorite piece of clothing?
My favorite piece of clothing, I mean, right now, of course, it's gonna be my Tavis, but in general,
like what's your favorite? Like, it's like, you know,
my biggest influence really was when Kanye did that Easy Gap. Like I got like quite a few pieces from that collection, and I also got a couple samples from that collection and stuff I had to get from outside, which was like real crazy. Like I think the Yeezy team with that one for that, but the big thing was that I got I don't know if y'all can see, but like I have like a shorter like waistline or like waist length compared to my legs. Got really long fucking legs. So whenever I'll be wearing like a hoodie or anything like that, it always just looked unnatural. Mm-hmm. But the cropped hoodie effect is changed the whole thing for me. Even with this like leather vest, like I don't even think, or this leather jacket here, I don't know if you can see, but I got like
scrunchie joints.
I got hair tie connecting this thing so that it doesn't look like it just looks unnatural. So like ever since then, those cropped like looks and everything have been like the whole thing for me. So I've always, everything that I worked on always is going to be cropped, because these shoes, when I was like working on them, originally were all the way up to here. And I don't know if you can see it. I
was just about to ask you that. Do you you actually sew like your own clothes?
Not yet. This one's just a kind of like prototype helpful design that I've been working on. Mm-hmm. A little bit I took from like because the only place you can find like these actual ones is just straight off of Amazon. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, if you could like anybody right now can just make these into a brand. If they do it faster than me, you're gonna find it better. Like, I'm gonna be pissed, but y'all be able to do it because ain't no one touching this at this level. But like they got these hooks here, and it's hard to see on here, but they got these hooks, and once you put it that high, it almost feels unnecessary. Yeah. So like it's kind of like if every time you put on your Jordans, you had to lace each one of them the way that you normally would. So instead of just actually like not tying them, but actually getting them into each of the holes for lacing. Yeah. So like in my mind, I was like, we gotta make it faster than that. So in my mind, cutting it down and cropping it is what fixed that idea for me.
Made it, way quicker.
Yeah, it made it faster, and it makes it a lot more like, it also will make it a lot easier to work on because it's not as like crazy as trying to get them all the way high up here. Yeah, unless like you got like unless there's some other way to do it, which is what I'm trying to like figure out right now. Like right now I'm working on like cause like the brand that I have for this is of course Chikatabe, but also I call it Aiko. That's the kind of like creative like brand name that I have for it, because Aiko is a very childlike but also like this very like kind of like free flowing name that has changed literally everything for me on just like how things work. Like I said, mentioning about like just like having that childlike kind of like outlook on things. Like the Tabi shoes are very free, and Aiko has more of a childlike name, so it gives this kind of like freedom to be yourself, or freedom to be at your most creative, which is usually when you're at like a child, like at age of like being like a kid. So I always felt like just having that kind of creative freedom, that was the name of why I came up with that. And I just feel like the ideas that I've been working on with not only just doing like some shirts or something like that is give it very, very free flowing. Not try to have this sort of like the shirt that you're wearing, how like it's very like it has a form to it. Yeah. I don't want there to be a form in clothing right now. I'm still working on the shirts and stuff. The shoes are the most important part, but I want it to be so free and that it almost doesn't feel like your body's constrained to that,
yeah.
you can be very free flowing.
Yeah, no, you said like your favorite piece of clothing is like your shoes and shit.
Yeah.
I fuck with those. Fucking so like
you said you got a project coming up.
Yeah.
What's the name of your project?
It's called Culture Killers. That was
Culture
the name of
Killers?
it. Yeah. It's like I said, like I'm very like I'm slowly become like just detached from culture.
Mm-hmm.
So like in my mind, what I've been working on is just making something that is like that's still very against the grain.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in my mind, for me, whenever I talk about music, the things that I do is I don't like telling someone, "Hey, this is my new song. It's about this." Like I hate when I go on TikTok and I see shit like that. Like that's why I barely even use TikTok at this point. Cause I'm just like, every artist is like, this new song is going crazy or whatever, and it's like, is this the new song of the summer or something like that?
Yeah, like
I don't like that idea, so I kind of just let mine become a free creative expression. Like it came from like I said, it comes from a place of this, or it came from a place of anger, it came from a place of happiness, but I want you to come to your own conclusions on how you feel about the songs.
Your own judgment.
Yeah, like I just want to make sure that like what I'm working on is just like something that everybody can kind of just like find their own kind of like feelings towards, instead of just like this is how it's supposed to sound, or this is how you're supposed to feel. Because there's songs that I listen to that like have different meanings to the songs and how I'm actually feeling. Like sometimes I'll listen to it and I'll think about somebody and I'll be like, nah, this song doesn't sound like it'd be something that you would want to think about someone to, but like just because of like the key that it's in, or the tempo, or how if there's like a strings in there, like how like the strings feel with it. But like from my mind, I'm just like, if this makes me feel that way, then I think like that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, no, I know a song like that, a song that's like, it sounds happy,
Yeah,
but it actually has like a dark tone to it, like, not dark tone, but a dark meaning to it. The song Pumped Up Kicks?
Yeah, like Pumped Up Kicks.
Yeah, like
that and Hey Ya by Outkast are the two songs I point out.
That got a dark meaning?
Yeah, Hey Ya is like pretty much like a breakup song with the lyrics. Like, if like you didn't know that? Like,
I gotta listen to that shit.
No, go back to it. Like, there's like, shit, if I had my flag, shit, I might grab my phone and might just show you actually the lyrics on it. But it's literally like it's got breakup lyrics on there.
That's crazy.
I always love. That's why I always put that as like my favorite song, in my opinion, the best song ever, because it worked. It did everything right.
That song sound like
they played at weddings.
Yeah,
they played at weddings, and you got like a bunch of people. Hey, yeah, and it's like there's like he's talking about like just like a relationship that's got no feeling. They ain't feeling happy. Like,
damn.
There's the reason why he says y'all want to listen to me. You just want to dance to the song, and that's what happened. Ain't like
that's crazy. I never.
And then we wonder why Andre 3000 ain't making like rap music or making like his own solo project, because ain't nobody gonna fully listen to what exactly he's saying.
No, he just
like
that's crazy.
That's why when he did a Flute album, it made you feel away. Like you could listen to like I forgot the name of the song, but like you could listen to the songs off his album New Blue Sun. You could be like, this makes me feel this way. But maybe he wasn't making it to feel that way, but because it made you feel that way, because there's no lyrics guiding you on what to do with that.
Yeah, no, in fact.
So like that's why I always love music that kind of makes that effect to people, because you can make something that can make you feel like very just like make you feel like just sad or just like feeling down, but like the lyrics could be happy. It's just the tone, like the key or the tone or everything like that. Like that's always the music that I love listening to, because it's just like you can come to your own conclusions in that way. Yeah.
That shit's crazy. I never knew that shit. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that for sure.
Yeah, bro.
So you got your new project coming up, Culture Killers. Shit. Anything else you got coming up, like fashion wise?
I mean, other than like the Chikatavis that should be coming soon, we like.
How do you plan on releasing those?
I'm basically, just because I'm not no Nike, I'm not no Adidas. I can't just like ship these all out one by one. Like, I just want to find one that makes me feel the most like happy about it, and then I'll just start working with that one. Right now we're just at the prototype stage and just finalizing a couple extra things before we start making into actual production and figuring out how we can get this kind of material onto it, and then we'll get to there. But the main focus on that right now is just making sure like does this make me feel happy?
Okay.
Because I was in the mindset with so many things, like even with like my first couple albums, where it wasn't like it wasn't that I liked them, it was just that they were done.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just started becoming a perfectionist with all that. So like I put even on, like I have an Instagram page for it. Like I even put on there like coming soon. I just changed it to coming super soon because like there's a good chance that I might like, because I've been liking these ones. I've been like, there's a good chance that these might be the ones, but we'll see. It all just depends. Other than that, I have the brand that connects both the Tabi name and the Ico name, Ico Tabi, which that one's just brand new. I just started setting up. That one's got a couple things in the pipeline. I got a logo made, but I don't have much else made off of there.
Okay.
But yeah.
Fuck with it. Any last words you want to say to the camera?
Just I mean, I always say just be you. Don't let this entire world tell you like you got so little time. You are a blip on a billion-year-old Earth.
Not even a blip. Like
you're not even a blip. You ain't even. You probably, it's probably less than that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you walk into this world, I'd say just try to do something that changes it just a little bit. Like hopefully for the good. Don't do nothing for the bad, please. I don't want my again. I always say come to your own conclusions in life, but like try to do something that's just positive to you. Because like I said, like it's 75 years, like we on this earth for so little time, we might as well try to be the best versions of ourselves and make the most amazing things that we can make, because ain't no one else is gonna force us to do that. Everyone's gonna try to force you to kind of be down on your luck or some shit like that, or they'll try to tell you like, oh, you should be doing life like this. Just do life the way that you feel like it. And just live the way that you feel like you should live, and don't let anyone beat you on that, because you just like you and like I said, you just in this small kind of little like part of life. So yeah, man.
Facts. We gonna end it off on that. Hey, appreciate my boy for coming through, man. Hey, get y'all some topics, some shit, some food for thought. Shit. Hey, we out.
Yeah.